All right, so let's keep this juicy conversation going. Speaking of social media, the popular hashtag one and done is another example of how common it is to have just one kid. Macleans did a deep dive into this issue and found that single-child households make up 45% of Canadian households right now. So what's your reaction to this? I know, Sean, you have 2 kids, right?
Yeah, I was none and done. I was supposed to be none and done.
Okay.
Both of us, Shelby and I, we agreed when we first met. We were like, we're never having kids. We partied. We did the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, we do magic mushrooms on a Thursday, go to Morocco on a Wednesday, like because we could, because we were free. And then, but as we got older, we were like, okay, I guess we're gonna. So we had one, and then we were one and done. And then she Jedi mind tricked me into having a second. And now we've got 2, and there you see both. I've got 2 beautiful children. But the youngest, honestly, she's young enough now. It's too much work, and I kind of, that's why I'm here today. I want to see if anybody wants her, because I can't do it. If anybody here wants a baby, actually, I created a little ad. I believe we have it. For sale. A brand new baby. No, she's great. She's great. Rarely barfs. She's got most of her shots.
Oh my
She's
God.
COVID-proofed.
Strong neck.
And she's great with dogs.
She's adorable.
So, you know,
You know what? It's funny you say this because right now I'm like, I will take her. I have baby fever. I think it's the last throes of my reproductive system talking.
It's intense,
It's
right?
intense. And I think the thing is that I've expressed before how I've had some regrets about having only one, and yet at the time, first of all, it took me so long to even decide if I wanted a child. I was initially like you, wasn't sure I was interested in kids. Loved my life, loved my freedoms.
Exactly.
Then thought like, well, maybe I'll regret it if I don't even try. So tried, it happened. And then for years, there were so many people who came on this show who I would speak to in passing who would say, don't just stop at one, don't just stop at one. I'd be like, screw off. Like, why are you trying to get in my, womb?
Get out of my uterus.
Get out of my uterus. I'm fine, I'm happy. Jason's an only child. Like all these myths around the only child. I was like, forget it. And yet now, fast forward during the pandemic, I started to have this, oh my God, I only had one.
Well, I don't want to freak you out, but 2 is better than 1. I will say that, because now, no, I'm serious. I'm so happy with 2 now because they're off playing by themselves now.
It's
and I'm like, oh, I get my brain back for a minute. And so, and mom, never mind mom.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think the fact that 45% of Canadian households are now one and done, that surprised me, actually. I didn't realize it was so high because I say to my daughter, we're not alone. I have one daughter also, she's 9 going on 19, and forever she asked me for a sibling. And I kept saying, do you like the vacations you go on? You like all the clothes you have? That's because there's only one of you. And there is an affordability thing we're not talking about in this country, which is especially if you live in a big city, you're looking at childcare that's $2,000 to $4,000 a month for one child. That's if both parents are working. So oftentimes mom will give up the job, and I love my career. And sociology and biology for women, they play a cruel trick on us. The second that we're peaking our careers is when we feel secure enough to have our own child. And I started at 35. I got lucky for 2 years, and we worked so hard, we finally got her. And I said, I am not going through that fertility journey again. But had I started earlier, when I wasn't ready, I would have had 2, for sure. But on the flip side, I have a child. I'm lucky to have one. There's a lot of people watching us that can't have any. I see you. So I'm lucky to have one, and I'm also raising a daughter that makes me realize my health has got to come first because I don't want to burden her with taking care of 1 aging parent or 2 aging parents. I need her to have her freedom to live her life. So what she's doing by being around is making me live my best life. So that is hopefully.
Well, here's the deal. And the one childless person here, I'll say this much. When my dad was in the hospital, at the same time I had a girlfriend whose mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's an only child. And it was hard just being in the hospital every single day, and we had family. My dad's brother was there, his niece was there, I was there, my mom was there, and there's my friend who only had herself. So when she had to talk to the doctors and nurses about decisions to be made, when she had to figure out what she's gonna do with her mom's home, all of her belongings, the funeral arrangements, everything was by herself. And in that moment I thought, if you can, because you're right, for all those reasons. It's super expensive, and some people just can't have more than one. But if you can, later on in life, you're not supposed to have kids so they can take care of you. But later on, it becomes much easier when you have somebody whose hand you can hold and say, let's do this together. How are we gonna, what's the best
guarantees.
decision?
You know what? The only thing I'll say to that, though, is that there are no guarantees. There's always the road that you could have chosen, and you imagine what that will be like. And it's all, I know so many people who have siblings who are useless and not helpful to their situation.
I know, but at least
don't get along with, right?
At least with siblings, there's one. There's at least one. If you have three, there's at least one who can show up and do the right thing.
I think make a really good will, take care of yourself well, and recognize that there's no perfect road. You're always going to be, maybe looking back and going, maybe I should have done this differently. But you're on the path.
Our kids, okay?
They're
going to take care of us together.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.